Now, did you guys notice a little thing, a little bit of stuff on Easter? I did. Buckets all over. Take a look.
And we did this weekend a little bucket artist thing around Yuma where we dropped off buckets that Yuma artists created. The idea came from Isaac and I. Basically, he came up and said, hey, I would like to do an underground installment around Yuma and I want your help because, you know, I know a lot of younger artists and he knows a lot of artists, / with the information that we both kind of had together, we were able to really have a solid plan. So it started off with buckets because, you know, it's very versatile. It's not something that maybe the city would think of it as harmful. Like we thought of cones, but then we were like, oh, that might be a little weird. It might get a little problematic. So basically, we got these buckets from the city of Yuma donated, so we didn't have to buy anything. And so after they were donated, we basically kind of, in a small hush-hush group, we handed out these buckets to artists and we said, make it your own, basically. The whole purpose of this was to kind of get new artists and old artists to decorate their bucket. And they could decorate it with ceramics, they can do it with paint, they can do it with like ripping it up. We had one person rip up her canvas or rip up her bucket into a fence. Katie went, and it was hung at the pivot point. It was just, all these different artists can do whatever, what have you to their bucket. And so it's a creative process to kind of see what people can come up with, what other people can come up with. So after they created their buckets and we've collected them, then we try to bring them back out into the community to see other people's reactions. Well, honestly, very bluntly, Isaac and I drove in my van with no AC, holy crap, and we're driving around Yuma and we're like, you know what, that's a good spot, that's a good spot. So we took pictures of every spot and then wrote them down just in case, and that was one way how we were able to keep it organized. And then we had some areas where we're like, you know, the parks, especially the parks, the city department, or the city hall, the police department, just a few places, and you know, next year we'll probably I don't think we came out this far. We kept it in the city limits really, so that's how we got the locations. It was definitely a success. I mean, by 9 o'clock they were all gone. So basically we had to deliver these buckets when nobody was around, just so that it would be kind of fun, like, oh, when they wake up in the morning, huh, check that out. So we delivered all the buckets to these places around 2:30 all the way till sunrise. And it was a pretty cool turnout. And like I said, by 9 o'clock, every bucket was gone. Next year, we're hoping that the people that actually got the buckets this year can bring them back next year and put them back out in the community, plus what we have other artists do next year. So it's gonna be like an ongoing thing. We would love it if people brought their buckets back, because if you find your bucket, you can keep it. But the thing is, we'd like to see it go back in the community afterwards. But then again, we understand, you get a piece of artwork, you love it, you're attached, go for it. So it's definitely go on next year, and hopefully we'll have 100 buckets instead of just 50.